isn't it? This time we're heading into the most remote national park in Australia, Karlamilyi. We'll get there in this first episode, and after that we're checking out Karrawine Gorge, running waters, marble bar and surrounds, including a World War II military base, and a few significant sites near Newman. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, hey? First, there's 1,200 kilometres to tackle from Perth to Newman. Hectic. All those poor buggers been stuck behind it, doing 60 in the 110 zone. Life. Oh well, on we go. Some people find this drive boring, but I don't mind it. There are, of course, those moments when you have to find something to pass the time.
If you're lost in your love, you will find me. Wake me up before you go. Hanging on like you.
There's loads of mining and pastoral history out this way just waiting to be explored. But that'll have to wait for another time, because we departed quite late this morning, 9 AM I think it was, which put us on track for an after dark arrival at our first camp, Garden Rock, just east of Kew. Mountain Magnet, I'd estimate a little less than an hour to camp, 5:30 PM, the sun has just set, not the ideal time to be driving for the danger of hitting roos and stuff. There's a sign just behind me here, open with caution. That's for the road. I didn't think that there'd been that much rain up here for there to be a caution on the road conditions, but there you go. So I've just stopped for a very quick toilet break at this servo here in Caltex at Mount Magnet. I'll see you at camp. This is Garden Rock, where we camped last night, about 16 k's roughly east of Kew, which is about behind me there. Not a bad little spot, hey. I read pretty good reviews about it. A bit of noise from all the mines and the trucks, but I can live with that. Yeah, so today the aim is power on to Newman. That's just under 600 k's I think. Stop at Newman, get the last of the fuel, so top up both tanks and 3 jerry cans, grab any supplies we need from the last supermarket we'll see for over a week, and then head north of there about 70 k's, just camp in the bush, and then it's on out to Karlamilyi. Exciting times. The Prado I have along with me in this episode is a 2014 model. Pretty well standard kit out there, aside from the snorkel I fitted to it in another video, and the dual battery system, which I also fitted in another video. Oh, I made him buy some new tyres too. No way I was having highway tyres where we're going. So yeah, we're at the servo in Newman, getting the last fuel for the next 1,200 k's, so 60 litres in jerry cans, fill up both tanks in the car. Well, there you go. We've seen the last of the bitumen for a while. Somehow it got dark again. Actually, I know how that happened. I always find it hard locating a suitable camp in the dark. It can be fun though. You may not know what view you wake up to. So tonight, we've done a Ronnie. We were supposed to be here before dark. but I estimated we'd be here 4:30, 5 p.m. I think it ended up being about 6. We had to stop and help some girls that had a flat tyre by the side of the road.
We didn't have to stop.
No, we didn't have to. We could have.
But we felt obliged to.
And honestly, they probably would have got out of it. They looked like they knew what they were doing. But they did wave us down for help, and it was getting dark, so we helped them change that. And they were girls, yeah. So now we're eating chicken soup. Used up a chicken frame, so we've had 2 chicken sandwich lunches. Still had the chicken frame left over, so that went in the cast iron pot, along with a can of chicken and sweet corn soup, and a bunch of pureed sweet corn. And then to thicken it up a bit, there was some butter and some flour, heated up over the fire and then slowly blended in to make it thick into a soup. Bloody delicious.
See what I mean? Sometimes you wake up and find yourself camped in a beehive. Other times you strike it lucky. There was a lot of birdsong around here, which, in the Pilbara, is a strong indicator of water nearby. I went for a walk and I found this.
That is the freshest water I've ever tasted. What we've got here, fellas and ladies, is an automatic tracking solar panel connected to a pump in a bore. Now this bore might be really deep or it might not be, but the water is fresher than Perth water. No chlorine, nothing. The cattle out here are getting better water than we are. The tank is full and it's looking really fresh. This is a fantastic setup. We've come a long way since the windmill pumps. Pumping a huge volume of water. I'm not sure why it's still pumping when the tank is full, but obviously there'll be someone coming out to check on it. The bird life around here is fantastic. They've got water, we've got weros. Oh, Alex, look at this, bush tomatoes. Oh no, they're just flowers.
Today's drive is only around 300 kilometres, about 240 kilometres along the smooth Tallawarna track and another 60 along the southern access to the centre of Karlamilyi National Park. There's not a lot to stop for along here, until that is you reach the Len Bedell marker, where there's a little history.
So this here is the original drum that Len Bedell used as the final marker on the GRCP road project. I don't know what that is, but it was part of the Tallawarna track, I believe. That there is the plug, the Tallawarna plug, done by Mr. Len Bedell. And we're a fair way along the Tallawarna track actually. It's a very smooth, easygoing road. Coming in close to Karlamilyi National Park. There's not a lot out here. Apparently there are some ruins. There's a little bit of evidence over there of a holding yard for stock or something like that. There's a water tank, old windmill that's been pushed over, but it's run by a solar pump now, so there's plenty of water here. Nice fresh groundwater. Onwards, we're going to try and get to camp early in Karlamilyi tonight, because we've set up in the dark 2 times in a row now. It'd be nice to kick back for a bit in the fading light. last spoke to you, we were at that tank and the Len Bedell marker, and the road had been pretty nice up until then, but not long after that we came across the grading party. So it turns out they'd been grading it and they hadn't got as far as past obviously where they were.
I've had to stop the car because you'll never hear me what I'm talking about over how bad these corrugations are. That's exactly what I'm talking about, how bad these corrugations are. We let our tyres down to 28 back there, 4-wheel drive track sort of pressures. We were on the track for 5 minutes, we've stopped and we've let them down to 18. We're actually in the little sandy desert right now. So it's sandy, this track is not maintained, so no one comes through and grades it. Rough as guts.
Guffer's ruts, hey bro.
Guffer's ruts, yeah, I did say that earlier. Just play with my map.
Oh, stop playing with it.
Alright, watch this, it's hectic. As you can see, this is going to take a little while longer than I thought.
Bloody rough. The price you pay to see things that not many other people have seen.
As we got close to Rudall River, the track did smooth out a bit.
Hello, Dingo. Hello, buddy.
Too little, too late for this Toyota though. In the centre of the park, the terrain gets more interesting, and so does the driving. Right, bit of a video diary of the day. I'm feeling pretty miffed. I think the major problem is that one in our convoy has a migraine. Woke up with a migraine this morning. And I said, oh, don't worry, it's only 300 k's today. We should knock it out in 6 hours. Yeah, 5 or 6 hours, I said, accounting for the fact that it would be a little bit slower because we're off-road and some of this might be a bit rough. But no, we left camp at about 10 this morning and it's now 6. 8 hours, dark again. And she has been in the passenger seat all day, pounding over those corrugations you saw. The biggest headache in the world, vomiting and all. On top of all of that, I'd marked out 1, 2, 3 campsites for tonight. Number 11 pool, Tajara pool, and I can't remember, Wajara or something. 3 spots anyway. All no good. The first one, number 11 pool, non-existent. Second one, Tajara, already taken. The third one, already taken. So we camped up on a hill. The view's nice, but there's no cover, there's no shade. If the wind gets up, we're damn well going to feel it. We were going to sit around tomorrow. I was going to film a few things around camp, but no one's going to want to sit around under the harsh sun. So I have to replan. I guess we could go over to Desert Queen Baths, but we're in Australia's most remote national park, and there's people everywhere. So I can't see how Desert Queen Baths, or Queen Desert Baths, whatever you want to call the damn thing, is going to be any different, because that's pretty much the destination in this national park. Jake has higher spirits than me. So does John, I think. I'm a bit defeated because, I've put in all this planning. This is the 3rd night in a row that we've rocked up in the dark.
It's not always sunshine, roses, puppies, babies laughing, or all that other good stuff. Every now and then, you have a total "this is bollocks" moment. But rolling out the right side of the swag with a view like this to wake up with means I'm ready for a new day.
Now, in a perfect world, if it's flowing, you can boil it and then drink it. But there are things living in this. There's vegetation, water vegetation in there, which means it is keeping it somewhat clean, good enough to shower in. So we're going to get some water for showers and that sort of stuff, strain it, tip it in our containers, and be good to go. Find a nice deep spot, try not to stir it up too much. Oh, it's cold. A few tannins in it.
That works pretty well. Nice cold water.
Today, lovely day. We don't have to be anywhere, so we're just going to plod around, check out the 4-wheel drive tracks, check out the scenery, set up an early camp.
There's a few pools here and there throughout the river. Nothing humans should get excited about, but it's a real lifeblood for the animals in the area. Thankfully, you don't have to explore the whole place by driving in riverbeds. We're following the seldom used tracks through Graphite Valley today. After reading a trip report on exploreroz.com, I was prepared for an entire day of low-range madness. It's the only comments I could find on this track, and they claim it's pretty rough.
I'm standing at the Rudal Plaque on the Rudal River, right in the middle of Karlamilyi National Park. It's a bit of a story here, so I'll give you the gist of it, lest we be here forever. But basically, there used to be 5 clans of Aborigines that inhabited this area, and they all shared the resources of the river, which has got a lot of permanent water sources along it. So they called it the Karlamilyi River in the lower reaches, and it was known as Wachirara in the upper reaches. Then in 1896 there was a party of geologists, I think it was, got lost somewhere out here, and a government surveyor, last name Rudal, came out here as the search party, and they tracked the entire river from end to end looking for these people. Never found them.
Okay, onwards to Graphite Valley. We don't intend to reach the end of the track, just to go until it gets too rough for the Prado, or we find a nice camp. Well, we made camp, and long before dark too, but more on that later. I decided to go for a run, as I do, to keep up the fitness I need to run around with cameras all day. Anyway, I got distracted when I decided to find water instead. Here's how that went.
I've come out for a run, a bit of fitness. We've been out here for 4 nights. Already drunk more beer than I should, so a bit of a run. And there's finches. Now, finches are a bird that's probably spread in a line from Pilbara in the south all the way up to Kununurra. I'm not too sure about anywhere else. Sorry, I thought that was a snake. Anywhere else in Australia. Tiny little bird that doesn't stray far from water, so I can hear finches around here. And if you need water in a survival situation, following the sound of the finches is a good place to start. See if I can find it in... It'd have to be in this creek bed. Find myself wandering a little bit further than I like, but I can still hear the birds. Another thing I'm looking for is big trees. The bigger the tree, the more water the tree has. Oh my god, there's the mother of all spiderwebs. I'm too busy filming and not looking where I'm going, dodging spiderwebs. Don't know if you can hear that little beeping noise, but that's the finch. Look out for spiders. Here's another clue in finding the water. Game trails. Looks like dog prints, so dingo's been walking through here. That little grove up there looks pretty shady. A lot of animal prints around here actually. I think I'm getting close. I've come a fair trek running up the creek because I'm out for a jog, remember? I'd surely be dead from exhaustion by now from looking for water if I didn't have a bottle with me. What other signs have I seen? Birds. Always looking out for the birds. And there was one spot I could smell damp. I think if I'd have dug around there somewhere I could have found water. But here we go. Finally, after following all those points I just made, I found a puddle. As you can see, that's the last little bit, hidden deep inside a depression in the river, and it's pretty filthy stuff. You'd want to construct some sort of water filter to drink that. Fine for the native animals. There's another spot up ahead I can see, looks like it might contain a bit more. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit more wet. That's just as dank as the other one. Smells like a swamp. But yeah, if you needed to get yourself out of trouble, you could filter that and drink it. Bit of charcoal from a campfire. Pack it into make a funnel out of your water bottle, and you could construct a filter out of that. Boil it if you had the means to do that. Or do like Bear Grylls that one time when he was on a boat, stranded at sea. He was doing a stranded at sea scenario, and it rained and collected some disgusting water in the bottom of the boat. Too filthy to drink, so he constructed a funnel and absorbed it through his large intestine. I don't need to say any more than that, but that's a way you could go about it.
Next time on the Pilbara Wandering series, we have a night hike, camp shower tips, wildlife, the trek to Desert Queen Baths, running waters, and much more. Part 2 of this series will come to Patreon soon, and YouTube a little later, so if you want to catch it first, see behind the scenes content, and join our exclusive patron group, head to patreon.com/intenseoffroad now.